All right, back with another one. I gotta get talking just to get in the zone, get in the mindset, get in the groove of this. But who cares? They're probably gonna cut this up into clips anyways and just throw it on whatever the fuck, right? Just whatever the fuck works. And that's not to say that like I'm taking away value from full-length videos such as this. I'm just saying I'm throwing this up, and it's probably not gonna reach anyone until a certain moment where people eventually look back on things that have been building up and then realize what was going on. But that's besides the point. I wanted to talk about something that is just, I feel like it's a crucial point in everybody's existence, and I don't think it's talked about enough. And I don't think, especially in today's climate and what I see on devices, what I see in the media, and what I see just opening my phone, I just feel like everything is just so fraudulent. And I think the only way to combat the fraudulent nature of society and what's going on is just following intuition. And I don't know, man. Like I'm not the guy who's gonna sit here and tell you how to live your life, right? I'm never gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna say, do this, go down this road, this is the right, this is the wrong, because that's just bullshit. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you how you should walk a mile in your shoes, right? It's the only shoes that I can walk a mile in is the one of my own, the pair of my own. So it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you how you should go out and live yours, right? But it's just sad, man. It's sad. It's just, I just think it's sad. I think it's sad, man. Like, I just think so many people have just sold themselves out. Like, the world is just selling itself out, just slowly but surely just selling itself out. And you see it through the media. You see it through media and stuff like music and entertainment. It's just so lifeless, man. There's just no rawness, no realness, no authenticity. Nothing jumps at you just because everything is just so cultivated and molded in what people think they need to be doing, instead of following what they know they should be doing, which is what they feel they should be doing, right? Because you know what you feel. You don't know anything else but that. Everything else is just told to you. Everything else is just something that's just given a path that has already been laid out for you. But that's just the bullshit path. Who wants to follow that path? I don't want to follow that path. Everyone's already been down that path. I don't want to go down that same path that everybody's already walked, because it's just like, what is the point of all this? What is the point of, you starting anything if you're just going to follow someone else's mold for what they've done? I don't understand that shit. I just think it's redundant, and I'm not going to sit up here and say that I don't know. I don't want to attach ego to what's going on. I don't want to attach anything such as that, because I know it's easy to interpret this kind of video as ego driven or just arrogant, but it's really the opposite. It's really just me just being real, just me just being honest. And I know this sounds I don't know how this is gonna come across, but I couldn't care less, to be honest, right? Just because I just feel like it needs to be said. And I could sit here and say a million things about the current state of music and what's going on in the rap game and all that shit, but it's at the end of the day, I'm not gonna just sit here and complain about it. I don't want to be a part of that movement that just sits there and just complains about shit, because that's not progressing anywhere. That's not going anywhere. And it's just kind of just a back and forth thing that just kind of sits in the middle. And it's I don't know. It's just kind of redundant. And I don't know. It's not very appealing to me. I just feel like at the end of the day, you can sit here and complain all you want. You can sit here and just be sad about something, or be I don't know. I'm right. It's just if I want to use music as an example, it's easy to sit here and complain about the music industry and the state of music. It's much harder to just do something and actually be a part of the change of what's going on. I don't know, man. I think it's funny. I just think it's funny how there's just like these like set of rules that is just like implied that everyone is just kind of supposed to follow, and nobody really questions, which is kind of like I feel like like there's just all the people who have given me advice are just telling me things that I should and shouldn't be doing, and telling me where I should and shouldn't go. But it's like the same people giving me this advice are the same people that haven't actually done anything that they're giving me advice on. And I just think, I don't know, I think it's funny how that works out. Just because it just doesn't really make sense from a logical perspective to get just the intake advice from people who have no credibility to back up what they're actually saying. And it's like, if you know how to do it so well, then why don't you just come do it yourself? I don't know, and I don't mean that from to antagonize anyone, but I just mean that from the perspective of, I feel like everybody has something to say. Everybody knows what everybody else should be doing, right? I think that's just how so many people come across now, but it's like, no, that's not how it works. It's, you only really know what you should be doing at the end of the day. And that's just because you're the only person that can follow your own intuition. It's not someone else that can follow your intuition, because that's not the path laid out for them. You got your path laid out for you. They got their path laid out for them. And there's no, and when it reaches that crossroads, it's just kind of like, I don't know, like there's a difference between like inspiration and then just kind of like replication. And I think replication gets dangerous when it lacks that inspiration, and it just kind of turns into an individual just being scared to, create their own path, right? I don't know. I just think it's kind of bullshit when there's just like this barrier set up between someone and what they want to do, and then what people tell them that they should be doing, which is not what they should be doing, because the only person that knows what they should be doing is the person themselves. I don't know if that made any sense, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I think now is a good point to start this video for real. Just I had to get warmed up, had to get in the zone, had to get some ideas out, just get the brain working. But I don't know what I'm gonna call this one, but yep, it's DCR back. DCR back with another video, back online on the Palmy account. And if you're confused at what this channel is, it's just kind of like a place where I've been putting full-length videos that I take clips from and then post it onto Instagram or TikTok, just as a method of just growing the name and just growing the brand and getting shit out there. But I don't know, the thing that excites me the most about it is just when there is that inevitable like growth that does come from that, following what I'm doing. It's just like, I just can't wait for people to look back on and just see what built up to it, and that's not me being like, that's not me coming from an egotistical standpoint. That's just me being like, okay, I'm showing you that you don't need to sell yourself out and then follow certain trends in order to get to that point that you want to get to, because in reality, you're just gonna get to that point that has I'm gonna get there in a second, but it's like, I wanna get back to what this channel is. This channel is just a channel that has full-length videos on it that I take clips from and then post onto TikTok and Instagram and whatever, as a method of growth. Other than that, it's just like, I don't know if this is what needs to be done in order to grow as an artist. I think first and foremost, like the music, right? First and foremost, the music and the art will always be first, followed by what's going on here. But I think it's important to notice that in order for the outreach to actually happen, the artists themselves, they have to, have some sort of backing to what's going on artistically. It's like, and that could be done in different ways, but this is just my way of doing it, right? This is just my way of showing the artist behind the art, right? But yeah, I don't know. The climate it's just fucked up, bro. It's fucked up. Like I'll go on Instagram and TikTok and I don't see anything inspiring at all. Like it's either just like some really depressing shit or it's just like some bullshit. And it's like, damn, I don't know why I'm even on this app, right? I don't even know why I'm like using this app, because like the more and more I think about it, like this kind of just takes away from my life. This doesn't really add anything to the mix, right? It's just like, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's like counterintuitive to be using this shit. And I realize I'm a fraud for saying this, because I rely on apps such as this in order for a career that I want to go down, right? I acknowledge that. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that I'm some perfect being that, you know, this is what I'm doing and this is the right way of doing it, and then this is the objective right thing to do, because it's just like, at the end of the day, I'm a fraud, right? I'm a fraud. You know, I'm sitting up here and I'm just sitting up here and I'm saying how shitty these apps actually are, right? Instagram and TikTok, but I rely on the apps themselves in order to grow what I'm doing. So it's like, you know, there's like kind of like a point of contention there, right? It's just like it's just like something that I think people refuse to admit sometimes. Or I don't know, I don't want to generalize, say people in general, but I'm saying from like someone from my perspective who actually relies on apps such as this, you have to know how shitty these apps are in order to actually work the game. You know what I'm saying? You need to know that you're playing a game in order to work it. And the sad part is, it's like a lot of the time people will go on like whatever, social media and shit, and think that like what they're looking at is actually real, when in reality it's just like nothing you see on your phone is, everything has a narrative, everything has some type of narrative to make you think, look, and act a certain way. And I don't know, there's not a lot of individualism that comes with something such as Instagram or TikTok or other social media in general, just because it's like the more and more you use these apps, man, the more and more you feel like you have to reflect some sort of mold that has been, you know, popularized or been said, oh, this is like this is the right way to do, you know, it's just like, I don't know, I don't want to give into that shit. I don't want to, and okay, I'll circle back to the music thing. It's like, the reason I think the whole music, the state of music is so mind-numbingly just boring and uninspiring is just because of social media, man. That's all it is. It's like, in order for people to like get a following, they have to reflect some sort of formula or algorithm in order for them to get from point A to point B. But it's like, what are we trying to do here? I don't understand. Like, are we just doing shit just to do it? Or is there like some type of actual, you know, goal that goes beyond the individual and further explains why they're doing this shit? And if we're talking about music, it's like, you know, I could drop some shit that just sounds like the next man and then, you know, have that do well. But it's like, for what? The money? I don't know. Like, it's like, really, like, money, is that the end goal? And fame? You know, is that really the end goal right there? It's just like money and popularity? Is that it? I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't seem like, I don't, like, when I die, or I don't want to like fast forward, because like I don't believe in just like being like, oh, when I die, it's like, well, I'm not dead right now, so like I'm gonna talk from my perspective and what I'm doing right now. But like, it's just like, I don't know, when I'm laid to rest and it's just like all that I accomplished was you know, materialistic shit, and I didn't add anything onto the world, and there's nothing I'm taking into the grave but, you know, like, what, money? Like, it's just like, bro, come on. Is that why people make art now? Like, and I don't know, man. I could say 100 different things about the current state of music, and I could complain about it all I want, you know? I just don't want to be a part of that group that just sits there and complains, though. Because I truly do feel that that's not a group that goes anywhere. I don't feel like that group is moving towards anything. It just kind of just like stays like this. And I don't know, like this just kind of seems like a little bit stagnant to me. I don't really believe in that shit. I just kind of believe in you know, some kind of progression. I don't really believe in just kind of like sitting here and just dwelling in and complaining. Listen, I never heard the story about the guy who sat there and complained, because that shit was ass. That wasn't a story worth telling, right? No one heard that story. So it's like, I mean, did you hear that story? I don't know. I don't know. Did you hear that story? I didn't hear that story yet, personally, because that sounds like a shitty story. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like everybody's sold out. It's sad, man. I'm sad. I'm hurt, dog. I'm hurt, bro. I'm hurt. It just, it feels like everybody's sold out, man. It just feels like everybody's sold out. You know? It's like, what is this? It's like, what is this game we're trying to play? It's just like, it's like, where is the inspiration? Where is like it's like everything is so self-centered. Everything is just about like, it's like me, but it's like, what are we adding to the table with this shit? Like, what are we contributing? I don't understand, man. It's kind of like I really just, man, I don't even know if like, it's like not something I want to be a part of, you know? It's not, it's just like, we just like sit here and just, like this, okay. I guess I could pivot to this. Like it's like a game of like winners and losers. It's like a game of winners and losers, and the whole system is set up like this, where it's like you have these winners that we're supposed to look up to, like you could call them celebrities or whatever, but like some sort of hold on, I'm gonna start this over because I want to really get my point across here. So it's a game of winners and losers, right? It's a certain like upper echelon of society, and you can call them celebrities, rich people. It's a hierarchy, right? Whatever comes to your mind when I say upper echelon of society, think of those people, right? And then there's like a bottom tier where it's like a lower echelon of individuals who are looked at as the losers, right? So it's the winners and the losers, but in reality, the losers rely on the winners, or sorry, let me backtrack on this, because I actually do want to explain this like in a good way. Okay, the game of winners versus losers, right? So it's an upper echelon of society. You could call it rich people, celebrities, I don't know, whatever comes to your mind when I say upper echelon individuals of societies, think of that level of the hierarchy. And then there's a lower echelon of society, right? A lower echelon of society who are considered the losers, right? So you have the winners at the top and then the losers at the bottom. But when we take a step back and really analyze this shit, you come to notice that the winners actually rely on the losers in order for their own self-image and their own whole entire idea of themselves in order for them to be winners, right? There's no winners without the losers, and there's no losers without the winners. Because if everybody was really on an equal playing field, then it's like, there would be none of these dividers that just separate people from each other. And it's like, I guess like the winners are supposed to be better than the losers, right? And then the losers are supposed to be worse than the winners, but it's just like, what even is that shit? What really makes someone a winner and what makes someone a loser? Is it a dollar amount? Is it like some sort of status? I don't know. Because it's like the winners rely on the losers in order for them to be winners. Because if there was no losers, then how could there be winners? Right? Because everyone can't be a winner. I don't know. Like, can everybody be a winner? Because if everybody's a winner, then there's no losers. And then it's like, no, because it's just like, oh, it's all bullshit, man. It's a facade. It's nothing. It's all just value that we've given to certain shit in society that really has no intrinsic value at all. And I'm sorry to say it, man, but it's the truth. It's the truth, bro. It's the truth, and it's sad because it's like, it's just like, in order for, I don't like the real winners, man, are the people that never sell themselves out. And that's in my eyes. That's in my eyes, man. The real winners are the ones that never sold themselves out. And I don't give a shit how much money you make. I don't give a fuck, you know, what car you drive. I don't give a shit what clothes you wear. The real winners are always gonna be the people who never sold out and never gave into the trend, right? Never gave into the, and I'm not saying like, you know, never go for anything. I'm just saying, when you go for something, you go for it and you follow what you know and what you know feels right. And I'm not saying, like, never sell yourself out and stoop down to that level of believing and following what the other man and the other person knows what's right. Nah, that's bullshit. Because what does anybody else know? Everything you need to know is right here. Everything you need to know is what you have already. It's nothing else to it. Everything you need is everything you got. You know what I'm saying? Everything you need is everything you already got. And that's some real shit. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, bro. Cause it's like, you know, you watch Kung Fu Panda and Poe, you know what I'm saying? He gets that dragon scroll and he looks at it and then he's confused. He's like, hold up, where's the special power? Where's the, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the sauce is already within you, bro. It's nothing more to it. And it's like, everybody tries to look outside themselves to find the answer when it's like you're looking the wrong direction. You gotta turn it around and look within here, bro. And like, I really mean this shit. I know you can tell I mean this shit because it's like, that's just what I mean. It's sad because everybody just sold out, bro. Everybody sold out. It's sad, dog. I don't believe in this shit and I will never follow it because it's not me, bro. And you gotta follow what you know. You gotta follow what feels right to you. And all the people who wanna sit up here and give you advice about what you should and shouldn't be doing are gonna be the same people who aren't even doing the shit that you want to do, right? So it's kind of funny how that works. Like the people giving you advice on what you should and shouldn't be doing aren't even the people who are doing what you want to do. It's like, so why am I taking advice from you? Why, like, what do you know about this shit? What do you know about what I'm supposed to be doing? What do you know about my life and how I'm supposed to live it? It's, like I said, I'll never be the type of person who sits up here and tells somebody how they should live their life, because I'm not them. I'm not them. It doesn't make sense. You live your life how you feel that you should live. You feel, you know what you feel. You just trust that gut feeling. You trust what you know is right. You know what I'm saying? You know right from wrong. You know what you should be doing. And yeah, man. Like, get fired up, you know? Cause bro, like, at the end of the day, right? I want to create and then use a platform for something, you know, bigger than what I'm doing just myself. And then if that's just through the music, then that's great. And if I gotta get up on here and on the camera and say some shit, then that's even better. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know people connect with this shit. You know, I know people can connect with the face and, you know, in words. And the people who don't connect with it, great. You know, if it doesn't connect with you, even better, right? So it's like, I'm not gonna tell you whether or not, you know, it's like, I don't know, I guess I could use music as an example, right? Like this new project I'm dropping, Heir to the Throne, the new album. I don't want to turn this into like some promotional thing, but like I gotta tie it back into it, right? Because at the end of the day, I gotta push this music out, right? At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you, like, by definition, I'm a fraud, right? And so is everybody else. I'm just gonna be the one to sit up here and actually admit it. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, you know what I'm saying, this is exactly what it is, and what you see on Instagram is what you get. Nah, bro, we're all just human, bro. We're all just people at the end of the day, and it's like, everybody got some goal that they're trying to get to, and you know, there's means to getting there, and then there's like certain shit you gotta do, and you gotta do what you gotta do. So it's not like I'm gonna sit up here and tell you like, I'm the model citizen, and everything I should do is what you should be doing, and nah, I could just try to be that though. I could try to be the best version of myself, but I'm not always gonna be that person. I'm not, and it's like anyone who tries to tell you that they're just like always the best version of themselves and they always, you know, it's like, come on, bro. Bro, really? Nah, Nah. That ain't it. You know? That ain't it. I want to circle back to what I was saying, but like with the new project, it's like, I don't know how people are gonna react to it. I don't know how people are gonna react to the new music. I don't know if people are gonna like it. I don't know if people are gonna hate it. I mean, I can make some assumptions. I can make an educated guess, but it's like at the end of the day, I like it. At the end of the day, I fucking love this shit. So, you know, if they don't fuck with it, then great. You know? Cause I fuck with this shit. And that's what really matters, man. If like, as long as you're good with yourself, bro, it's nothing in this world that can get to you. As long as you're good with yourself, bro, it's no external force that could reach you. It's nothing. It's no external factors that will ever come into play that will break you down. As long as this is good right here, as long as this is strong enough, it's like, who's really gonna tell you shit? Cause you know, anyone who's telling you anything, it's like the only value that other people's criticism, sorry, hold on, I'm gonna repeat this cause I wanna get this good. The only, you know, look, check it out. The only value that other people's criticism actually has to you is the value that you give it. You know, it has no intrinsic value. It has no power over you, bro. And I'm not saying all criticism is bad. I'm just saying it's like, there's always gonna be critics. You know, let the critics be the critics, man. Let the critics be the critics. Let the commentators commentate. Do you really want to do that though? Nah, you want to be more than that. And I'm not saying like, you know, like there's obviously, you know, entertaining critics out there. Like, you know, I sit up here and watch music reviews. You know, I like that shit. But it's like, I'm talking about the people that just critique you at everything you do and, you know, trying to explain to you why what you're doing is the wrong thing to do. When in reality, like, what the fuck are they doing? They're just sitting up here critiquing what you're doing. So it's like, they're just the critiquer, I guess. I don't know, like the top critic. Like, is that you? I don't, like, is that you? If that's you, that's you. I don't got a problem with that. I'm just saying, like, acknowledge that shit. You're just the top critic and I'm actually doing some shit. And, you know, you kind of like, I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to get offensive or anything, because that's never the goal. I don't want to sit up here and like offend anyone. But I will sit up here and, listen, I don't want to sit up here and offend anyone. That's never the goal. I don't want to sit up here and offend anyone. I don't want to sit up here and just throw shots. But I will sit up here and say that at the end of the day, like, anyone who tries to tell you anything and tells you, you know, what is in the things that, I don't know, you know what the fuck I'm trying to say, man. And if you don't, just take a guess, you know? Gotta look out the window for this one, bro. Gotta just sit up here and just think. I really hope I didn't film this shit in slow motion, bro. Really hope I didn't film this in slow motion. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do know this. Complaining doesn't get you anywhere, right? I also do know this. I know what I feel, right? So I will just not complain and trust what I know instead of, you know, trusting what someone else is telling me and, you know, complaining about me not having what I want. Because it's like, you can't complain about not having what you want when you're following someone else's instructions on what you should be doing. And if that resonated with you, I'm glad. And if it didn't, let me further explain. You will never be satisfied, you know, taking orders at the end of the day. You will never be satisfied taking orders. The only orders that you should really be following, and I'm not saying like go out and like, you know, fail your class and, you know, fuck the final. Nah. I'm saying the real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously we gotta hit the books and, you know, go crazy. But it's like, what I'm trying to say is like the real orders that is really gonna play the biggest role in your life is the orders that's coming from your soul, bro. The shit that's trying to get out saying, you know, it's like you can kind of like, listen, let me tell you how this shit works. It's like, you got this shit right here, right? This is like, let's call this your soul. this is like the real, the feel, like this is like your gut feeling. I'm gonna say this again just cause I wanna, sorry, all right, boom. Okay, I'll explain how this shit works, right? So it's like, this right here is like your soul. And then it's like, it's really like giving like the mind some, like, you know, it's like hinting to the mind what is and what isn't right. You know, you got that gut feeling where it's like, like I really want to do X, Y, and Z, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't do it because of X, Y, Z or Z, Y, X. But it's like, in reality, the person giving you Z, Y, X is just another critic and bullshitter who holds real no value. And the real value comes from within. So it's like, you just got to follow that intuition from the soul. And then once your mind starts to, you know, understand what's really going on, your mind starts to work around it, and it carves out this blueprint. And then the body is just the conduit that, you know, is just reflects what's going on. The body is just like, okay, this is like the tools that we have in order to accomplish what the soul wants and what the soul's feeling. And if that looks like dropping an album, then you gotta drop that album. And if that looks like, you know what I'm saying, becoming an astronaut, then you know what I'm saying, you gotta get up there to the moon and shit with the aliens, bro. And if that looks like, you know what I'm saying, you wanna be the best painter and paint crazy houses and just do like designs and shit, why not, bro? And it's, why not? Realistically, money? Nah, money will never make you happy. Money is just like, we just got money in order to sustain ourselves, right? We got money in order to, you know, get comfortable, and money comes and goes, bro. You know, it comes and goes here and there. It's like, and if you attach too much value to it, man, you're just like, it becomes your entire existence. And when money becomes your entire existence, your existence becomes meaningless. Because you've attached yourself to a materialistic earthly possession that has no intrinsic value other than the one that you're giving it, which is only you giving it because society has told you that it has value. It has you know, it's just kind of fucked up, because in reality, the real things that have value is the stuff that you feel right here, which is, you know, the stuff that's really gonna fulfill you in life. And I'm not trying to sit up here and tell you that I have the whole game and the whole life figured out, because like I would just be a liar. But I will sit up here and tell you that the person telling you that they got the whole shit figured out probably has nothing figured out and is just trying to, you know, personify some sort of image that is just like, here, let me run that back. All right. But yeah, okay, no, listen, I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that I got it all figured out. You know, I'm never gonna do that shit. You know, but it's like, I will sit up here and tell you that I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I feel, right? And what I feel is just, you know, I just do what feels right. But I will sit up here and tell you again that the person who's trying to tell you what they think is right for you will never actually know what's right for you, because they're not you, bro. You know? Like, stop looking so far away to figure out what you should be doing. You start looking right here, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. I gotta wrap this shit up because I don't even know how long this shit is. I think it says, no way this is 33 minutes long. Holy shit, dead ass? Jesus Christ, bro. I don't know, there's probably some gems in here that I could, you know, chop up, throw on Instagram and TikTok, and, you know, bro, like, fuck all these apps, bro. Dead ass, though. If I never had to touch any of these apps ever again, I would never do it, ever again. Because, like, there's nothing cool on this shit except, you know, okay, listen. I'm not gonna sit up here and say there's nothing cool on this shit, because that would be lying. No, there's definitely some cool shit that you'll find on Instagram, TikTok, especially YouTube. I be on YouTube just going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be watched like live concerts, you know? Whatever, like, you find some shit that really inspires you and then like consume that. Don't just like go out and just like blindly consume whatever the fuck the feed gives you, because like 9 times out of 10, bro, that feed is just gonna curate some type of like shit that's just gonna get you hooked on that app, get you scrolling and just have you go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you don't wanna be on that. You know, like find something that really inspires you and just go crazy with that. You know, I want to finish this off. I'm gonna drop a separate video on the game of the winners versus losers, just because it's like, that is such a very important topic that I want to get right. And I don't know if I got it right. I don't know if I hit the mark with that today, but I'm gonna just say it like this, bro. Look, like, there's no guarantee. There's never gonna be, when you're following your own intuition, when you're following your own path, it's like this is like a path of no guarantees. The only thing that you will be able to guarantee, hold on, listen, check it out. When you're following your own path and you're following your own intuition, when you're doing what you know feels right, when you're following that, it's like, that's gonna be a path of, it's not gonna be guarantees. In reality, that's not a bad thing. It's just like, people try to sell you this bullshit that, you need to go for something that is guaranteed, when in reality, like, that's just redundant. Why? That's redundant. That doesn't make any sense. No one wants to, yeah, just follow what you know. You do that and you'll be all right. Follow what you know. Because if you follow what you know, you follow what feels right to you, you can never really, fail, bro. Because the only time you really fail is when you sell yourself out. That's the only time you ever really fail, when you shortchange yourself, when you hang around people that try and undermine the shit that you can do, when they try and shortchange your abilities. No one can tell you what you can and cannot do, bro. That shit is all from within, bro. That shit is all intuition. That shit is all stuff that you know, and you know what you feel. Follow those feelings. Follow what you know is right, and you'll be all right. That's it.